Okay, so as I told you guys, each day I'm going to be recording each class. That doesn't mean that your class is going to make it onto the website. I have 3 Algebra 1s, whichever one I feel kind of goes the best, I'll post that one. We're doing the same thing each day, so if you ever want to go back and look at anything in class that you missed, hopefully it should work out and it should be up there. So I'm recording already now. Hopefully today things start to slow down a bit. I know the first day and the second day for that matter were kind of hectic. So I'm going to review some things that maybe you forgot. Yes, I'm still here. All right. So what I have on the board right now is the e-class page. Does anybody not know how to get here? Do I have to go over how to get here? I don't have it on the board already, but okay. So the first thing you were told to be aware of is the course syllabus. And then for both you guys and your parents to go on and fill out the syllabus receipt form. Now, I have not gone to check individually as to who has and who has not turned it in, but as I said, I have about 150 students, and as I speak to you right now, as you can see from this screen, I've had 49 turn it in. Okay, so I'll repeat it. I'll try to make it as simple for you as possible. On Friday morning, so don't even think Friday, think Thursday, because by Friday it'll be too late. Friday morning, I'm going to go on here and I'm going to look for who hasn't turned it in. And if you haven't turned it in, grade book, it'll be an F, a 0. Later on, we'll figure out how to contact your parents and get you on here and stuff like that, but you're going to get the F automatically. Those of you that have turned it in are not going to get the A yet, but I'm going to get the information that was put on here, and I'm going to send it through Remind 101. And then once your parents sign up for Remind 101, that's when you'll get the A. It'll probably take about give you like another week to get that done. But if you don't have this done by Friday, this first part, you're locking in your F, regardless of what gets done later. And that's not going to be made up. It's too simple to not get done by Friday. Does anybody think that they have a reason why it should not be done by Friday? Again, let's say Thursday. Have it done by tomorrow night at the latest. Any questions there? Okay, so then the way that I plan to start each class every day is back on this e-class page to go to the content browser. And you see here where it says period 2 homework help. I didn't really get into that too much the first day, but I will now. When you click on period 2 homework help, under week 1, you're going to see what's assigned this week. Normally, there'll be just one assignment per week. They'll be worth a different amount of grades potentially, but there'll be one assignment. For this first week, I gave you like a pre-assignment. The reason why I want to look here is I want to see if I have any posts. The post would come from you guys. Why would you post? Well, you would post if you need help on the homework. How does that work? Well, whatever device you're accessing the homework on, most of the homework will be on Khan Academy. Not all of it will. I believe you look at week 3, Khan Academy doesn't have a lot of content for what we're doing on week 3, so I have to make my own assignment. But it's even if it is not on Khan Academy, it's usually going to be digital. And whatever device you're accessing it on, whether it be a tablet, a phone, a computer, whatever it may be, you have to know how to take a screenshot. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, let me know. Yeah.
I don't know how to screenshot on Mac.
On a Mac computer?
Yeah.
You know what? That one's always my weakness. That's the one I have everything memorized except for that one. But you're in luck because if you don't know how to screenshot on a Mac, due to advances in technology, you can go to google.com and you would just say, it's the same thing I would do, screen shot on Mac. And it says here, press Shift Command 4.
Thank you.
That should work. If you have an iPhone, I know it's some type of combination of like with the power and the home button maybe. Android. I guess it depends on the Android, but I think now they went to like volume down and power or something like that. But I can help you. I can help you if you have individual issues like that. Just come and see me one on one before school would be great. I had a student come to see me before school today to help them get on the Khan Academy and stuff like that. If you have an individual issue, that's probably the best time to deal with it. Okay. So once you take that screenshot, then now you say, okay, well look, I'm having trouble on operations with fractions, right? So you would click on that, and when you click reply to thread, now that's going to allow you to, where it says insert stuff, you might even be able to use this here with insert image, depending on the device you're on. When you take a screenshot of it, if it saves it as a file already, then you might insert the image. If not, you might even be able just to do copy paste. Yeah, you might be able to just paste it, depending on what you're using, and then post it. That's all you got to do. And then the next morning when we get here, this is the first thing I'm going to look at, and if I have any posts, I'm going to review them for you so that you can write them down on your notes. Any questions there? I think it's pretty simple. It's about as simple as I can make it. Whether or not you take advantage of it, that's up to you. Okay, no questions there? Okay. Well, how do we do these problems? Because I've been trying for the past couple days and I still have no idea, right? So this is not something I'm going to do every day, but since we just started, let's talk about now, just like we did yesterday, how do we access the assignments? Okay. Let's do this. Does anybody want to be my special volunteer? Anybody willing to? I'll do one of the assignments for you. Oh, all right, she had her hand up first. Sorry, she was. I'm sorry. What's your name again? Grace. Come on, Grace. Lucky. Well, I'm not gonna do the entire assignment for you, but I'm gonna do part of the assignment for you. My E class. Go ahead and sign in for you. Good. I'll take it from here and then I'll just log you out afterwards. Okay. You can go back and sit. Okay. So here, this is Grace's E class. What did I say is the first thing you want to do? Click on G Suite. Somebody was saying that when they tried doing that on their home computer, that it took them to their other Gmail account. Well, then I'm not gonna go over it now. This is something you would want to do maybe before school, and I don't walk you through it. But you go to the settings and clear out the cache. If you clear out your browser's cache, if you maybe you might go into the cookies also. If you clear that out, then if you're logged into any other account, it'll wipe that out. If you're having trouble with this, I don't think you should have to, but if it's not working for you, try that. So now I don't need an email. I'm logged in. The browser knows my account, and then I would go back to my eClass page. And this actually you won't have to do every time once you get used to the website, but just I'll do it for now. eClass. Here's the waffle. And find my class, which since I know this is Grace's favorite, I'm going to go ahead and pin it for her so it always stays towards the top. She would go and find week 1. Here's where I'm going to place all the lectures and the notes. It's divided by day. I believe on there, if you happen to look through there today, you should already see today's notes up, what you're about to see. Some of you, if you're like very organized and stuff, you might even want to write the notes in your notebook before you get there. It's one less thing you have to write. And sometimes with the schedule, I'm talking a little bit too fast. And oh wait, but hold on. I need to write it down. And I'm just going to direct you to this side so you can go fill it in later. You want to write the notes down before, even better. But then here's where you find the assignments, right? So let's assume she's going to work on the operations with fractions first. She would click that. These are the videos that you were not able to see yesterday because you guys don't have access to YouTube when you're in school, but I do. The first video you can watch is for an explanation. These are prerequisites. That's why I'm not going to touch on this in class. These are things that you're supposed to know, but hey, if you need a refresher, maybe these could help. I have one video that explains how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. I have another video that demonstrates how to do those things, how to do examples. And if you're stuck on it, what could you do? When you go to work on it, if you're still stuck, what can you do?
Ask.
Yeah, thank you. Post on the homework help. Post it. Even though these are prerequisites and you're supposed to know them, if you go post it on the homework help, I'll still go over it in class. But it's more of a review instead of a preview. Like this is the one thing that's it's supposed to be reviewed. It's extra. It's not part of the curriculum, which is something that I like to do, so I have to find a way to squeeze it in. All right, so we have 13 different exercises that are part of this assignment. It's going to be worth 3 grades. And after the due date, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all 13 of these. I'm going to average them into 1 grade. That 1 grade is just going to be weighted 3 times. I'll just click one of them here. Let's do the first one for her. I promised her I would do one for her.
So we have to do 3 or we have to do all?
You do as many as you want. What I'm telling you that I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of them and average them together. So if you don't do some of them, what are you going to get for those? A 0. So when I average them up, you're going to be adding a 0 on those. So I'm going to add up all 13, divide by 13, and then that's the grade that you'll get. Now before you start freaking out and like, oh wow, but that's crazy, 13. These go by pretty fast. It's not too bad. The other thing, you can do these an unlimited amount of times. So if you don't like what you get, you can keep on doing them until you're happy with your score. Right? So notice each one of these is going to have its own requirement. Another good thing, see how it says do 7 problems? I can't tell you, because I don't know how they do this, but I know sometimes it'll say something like that, and then you get the first one right. Maybe it's if you do it right away. I don't know what it is, but sometimes if you just do the first one right, it'll say, oh, okay, thank you very much. It'll just give you the 100% already. And you won't even have to do the rest. Sometimes. Not always. Just to let you know. So, all right, here we go. Do we know how to rewrite mixed numbers as improper fractions?
Yes.
Okay, how do we do that?
Multiply.
Let me,
Basically 10 times 3 plus 1.
31 over 3.
so we would, All right, so let's try this again. So we know that when we switch to improper fractions, we're going to keep which number? The denominator, the 3. How do we find what number goes on top? And look, do I expect you to write this stuff down? No, this I would expect you to know how to do mentally, but if you can't, yeah, Grace. First, you're going to multiply the little number on the bottom, the denominator, times the whole number. 3 times 10 is 30. And then what do we do on the top? Add the 1. It's going to be 31 over 3. 31 over 3. Your answer should, sometimes I'll give you a hint, your answer should be a simplified improper fraction like, okay, and it is. Check. Yay, that's happy music. That's good. That's what we want to hear. It says, good work, you got it. 6 more.
So, oh wait, this is all.
Okay, so next question. Rewrite as a mixed number. Okay. Which number do you think we're going to keep?
The 10.
Keep the 10. But now, I need a number that's a whole number, and then I need a numerator. What's your name back there? I'm sorry? Chase. Chase? What do you think we should do? Yeah, but tell me how you got it. Bam! Just came to you? Yeah. How many times does 10 fit into 47 without going over 4? That's why we get it. Then the question is, what is 4 times 10?
40.
It is 40. So how many do you have left over to get? Well, basically, what's 47? Oh, now I remember. So I believe the way you enter this, and it'll tell you 4 space 7 over 10. Okay, improper fraction. I'm going to speed this up so we can get to today's lesson. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 2 is 58 over 7. 58 over 7. Hey, we just saw that one. Well, what's that going to be? We just saw it. We literally just saw it. 8 and? If 8 times 7 is 56. 2 sevens. Happy music. All right. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 3. You know what? Before I finish, one thing I should mention. Yes, this is simple. This you might know how to do in your head. But let's say you get to a problem that you don't know. You have the videos that I provided for you, but Khan Academy has also their own videos here on the left that you could see. Anything that has like a play button, the little triangle that's kind of facing the side, what looks like a play button, those are videos. And on many of these, I don't see it here. You might have to get. Here. You see where it says stuck, watch a video or use a hint? You can also click that. But if you ask for a hint, you can click this. But if you ask for get a hint, you can keep on asking for hint and it'll give you the answer. But once you click get a hint once, it's going to mark that one problem wrong. It's not going to give you credit for it. Yes?
Are the videos like required? Like,
no.
They're like all of those.
Oh, good. It's free learning. The videos are not required, but if they are used, it's without penalty. So if you watch the videos, it's not going to mark it anything wrong because you watched the video. And then 68 over 7. I know that 7 times 9 is 63, so I need 5 more to get to 68. So 9 and 5 7. Hip hop hooray, that should be it. No, one more. 24 is a 27 over 4. It didn't come out. 27 over 4. Yay, Grace, congratulations. So when you finish, that's the important part right there. So on one of the 13, you got 100%. Not on all of them, but on one of them. Okay? If you get an 83% and you're happy with that and you want to move on, fine. That's at your discretion. If you want to go back and do it again because you want to get hundreds on all of them, that's fine too. You can do these an unlimited amount of times as long as you have time for it. Yes?
You didn't log in when you did the problem.
Good point. I did not log in, right? See how it says sign up to save your progress? But the good news is, since I did go to G Suite, it will take everything that I've done, and as soon as I do log in, it'll still save it. So yeah, continue with Google. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It'll count it. It'll recognize you.
So like,
See? Grace pay. Now, I was mentioning to you how eventually you won't have to go back. You still have to go to do the G Suite. You still have to do the G Suite thing because if not, it won't recognize you. But once you start working out problems now, I don't have to go back to E-class each time because since you saw me yesterday, since that time, those of you that did sign up for my class, if you just click on the Khan Academy banner here up at the top, the thing is I couldn't do it without you being in my class, but now that you are in my class, all of the assignments were added here to the main page, and you should be able to see. See here it should say 100% because we just did it. Let me see if I refresh. No, but it should have saved because we still have the browser open. Yeah, I'll do it again just for Trace to make sure.
okay, so like, what if there's an assignment that you don't know how to even like work? Like for example, what if I didn't know how to change a mixed number into an improper fraction? How would I redo like, and I got like a 60? How would I be able to redo?
Just click it again and do it again.
I mean, I know like click it again and do it again, but like, how would I be able to redo it and get a better grade if I still don't know how to work out?
Okay, so well, that's where learning comes in, right? So like when you don't know how to do something, you want to learn how to do it. What are some of the avenues that I provided to you? My videos, their hints, and then lastly, homework help. Post it and then we'll go over it in class.
Okay.
That's the beauty of the human mind. If you do something over and over again, if you expose it to a repeated stimulus, eventually you learn how to do it. Okay, and there's the 100% again. It should show up. Now, what happens at the beginning of each year is that Khan Academy updates their website over the summer. So sometimes there's going to be some bugs because they they don't consider everything. It might get buggy. See, this here says next assignment. I think that's new. I'm not. I don't know. I don't like to click that. I like to just X out and go back to this main page and then see how it says 100% now. That should have been there before, but now she knows that she got 100% on that one. Which are the ones that she needs to work on immediately? It gives you the due date. Sunday, 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 Sunday. Does that mean you have to work on Sunday? on Sunday. Don't say, oh, my teacher gives me work that's due on Sundays. That's not fair. No. No. You can do it today. You can do it tomorrow. Do it Friday.
So like, could I what's this worth? Like, is it homework grade?
It is a. We went over the. It's a good question. What is this worth? So, on your e-class page,
It reloads at that tab, the second tab, it reloads.
sneaky.
Yeah, very sneaky.
Okay, so we went over our percentages. This would fall under daily assessment. So this is 15% of your grade, but the grades have different weights. So like the just signing the syllabus, that's going to be worth 1 grade. This fraction problem, how much is that going to be worth? It's on the board. 3 grades. Yeah, it said 3 grades. The week 1 assignment, which is what I'm going to start lecturing on now, that's due on Tuesday, I believe. That's 3 grades. You're going to see some later coming out that are like worth 6 grades. But that falls under this category of daily assessment. That's really the only category that I control. Tests are given by the department. That's 40%. Interim is given by the district. Quizzes are given by the department. Final exams are given by the district. So everything that I give you that's going to be in here in this content falls under daily. The other grade that starts next week starts already on Monday. Attendance. You can maybe see I've already started printing out your stickers. I'm going to try to have that ready for you by tomorrow so I can put them in your notebook. So if you don't bring a notebook, I don't give it to you. If you don't bring a notebook by the end of the week, you're not going to have a way to get that attendance grade next week. Yes?
Can you just like explain that just really fast again?
You walk in the door, there's going to be a scanning station, you scan. You walk out the door, for whatever the reason may be, there's going to be a scanning station, you scan. So that's going to allow me to monitor how much time you spend inside these 4 walls. At the end of the week, I add up how much time you spent here and divide it by the amount of total time. At the end of that week, I'll post it. That'll give me a percentage. So I'll be able to say, what's your name? Joseph, right? Joseph? Joseph, you were here for this week for 97% of the time. Okay? If that's fine with you, that's fine with you. And you can leave it there. But if you were absent, even if you just don't like the percentage, I will allow you to make up for that lost time by doing a makeup assignment, which you'll have the following week to finish. That's also posted starting week 2. Yes.
So we have to walk outside with our notebooks, right?
No, you just gotta scan it.
Okay.
We'll put it back in your desk. Yeah.
All right. Never mind.
Okay. Yes.
If we like get up and go to the bathroom and scan it.
Yep. It might sound hard, but I promise you, after a while, it's gonna become second nature. Like you're gonna be picking up your notebook, walking over there and scanning without even thinking about it. You can, if anything, you don't have to even walk back to your desk. You can just leave your notebook over there and pick it up on the way back. Remember also phones. Phones go here. If you're gonna go to the restroom, leave your phone here. Yes.
What if you have an excused absence?
Okay, so then that's going to be some time that you need to make up. So there's going to be a makeup assignment that's posted. I can even show it to you here, starting week 2. Here's the week 2 makeup assignment. Notice how there are 40 problems. What? That's not fair. You do as many as the time that you missed takes up. If you have an excused absence, and you can even pick whichever ones you want to do. If you have an excused absence, I'm going to give you 4 minutes for each one that you do. Now you're going to have to print this out and turn this in separately. You print it out. You're going to not put your work on this page. You're going to put work on a separate sheet of paper, and you're going to turn it in. I'm going to look through it for all the ones that I feel that you've done correctly. I will mark it off, and then you would get that. In this case, if it's an excused absence, you would get 4 minutes for each one you did correctly. So if you do 10 correctly at 4 minutes each, how much time am I giving you back that you missed? 40 minutes. If it's an unexcused absence, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. What I haven't decided are like, because really I shouldn't be allowing you to make up time, but I might allow you to, is what to do is like, oh, I went to the bathroom and, you know, hey, I had some stomach issues and I was in the bathroom for like 10 minutes and I want those 10 minutes back. I'm leaning towards treating that like unexcused, meaning that for something like that, because you were here, you weren't absent, you were here, so you're not making up for an absence. So I'll probably give you 2 minutes back in that case, because I really want to encourage you to be in the room. Yes. Alright. And I'm gonna have 2 there, so even in a class of 33, if I have 2 stations set up, it shouldn't take very long. Yeah. You just leave your notebook out, scan it on the way out. Every time, just train your brain. Every time you walk in the door, every time you walk out the door, get it. Any other questions? Okay, so this probably took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but today luckily is a 2-day lesson. We're going to be working with adding and subtracting polynomials. So whatever we don't finish today, we'll get through tomorrow. The way I have pretty much all my lessons structured is I'm going to start off kind of look what you saw on the fractions but in videos. You saw I had 2 videos, right? One provided an explanation, the other one provided examples. I'm going to provide you with an explanation. I'm going to provide examples, and in some cases, if we have extra time and I run out of examples to do, I'm going to start doing your homework for you. We'll go to Khan Academy and we'll start. I'm not gonna log you in. I'm not gonna log you in and do it for you that way, but I'll start doing some problems straight from there for you guys. So, yeah, sure. You can notice, yeah. So polynomial. What does the prefix poly mean? When you put poly in front of a word. Yeah, Joe. Now. JKLOL. Yes. I'm sorry? Yeah, it usually means many, multiple. For the purposes of polynomial, it means one or more. Even if you have one nomial, that's still considered a polynomial, but it means one or more. Now, one or more what? One or more. Whoa. I want that. There we go. One or more terms. One or more terms. For all intents and purposes, consider a polynomial to be aka known as an expression. We hear a lot of terminology in algebra. One of the more common mistakes I hear is you guys just want to call everything an equation. You've heard that word before, and everything, that equation, if it's a math problem, it's an equation. No. I want you to learn to differentiate. What does that word equation sound like? Equal. Yeah, it sounds like equal, right? So hey, if you see an equal sign, yeah, it's an equation. If you don't see it, do you see an equal sign here on the board? No, you don't see an equal sign. It's more than likely going to be an expression, and another word for an expression is a polynomial. Polynomials are made up of terms. They can have varying amounts of terms. 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. The definition of a term is any number that is either just purely a number, which is known as a constant, a variable, which looks like a letter, that's also coming up now in the notes, or any combination of the two using multiplication. So that's what here they've circled for you. How many terms do we have here in this example? 4. Okay. What's a quick visual way to know that you're starting at a new term? If you see a new sign. Anytime you see a positive or negative, that's a new sign. But wait though, I only see 3 signs. So wouldn't there only be 3 terms? Well, no, because on a polynomial, if the first term happens to be positive, which in many cases it is, you just won't see the sign. But really, here there's 4. There's a positive 2x to the third, a negative 4x squared, a positive 5x, and a negative 3. Those are 4 terms. Part of today's lesson is not going to only show you how to add and subtract polynomials, but also how to name them. Polynomials can be named by their exponents, also known as the degree, the little power, and you can name them by how many terms they have. Any questions there? Okey-dokey. Let's move on. Next slide. If you say, oh, wait, but I didn't write that all down. Okay, we'll move on. Where can you find these notes? E-class. Where are you? Where are you going? There it is. Okay, parts of a term. The variable is the letter. That's what we talked about. Coefficient. If a number is attached to a letter, that number part is called a coefficient. If a number is by itself, like what number here is by itself? The 7, right? You see how the 7 is not attached to a variable? Then it's another C word. The fancy math word is another C word that I've said, but I don't see it here on the board, but I did say it today.
Coefficient.
Constant, thank you. Constant. Attached to a letter, coefficient. By itself, constant. And the degree that I also mentioned, that's going to be the exponent. What exponent do you see? Yeah, we see here, we see a 2. There's also an exponent here that we don't see. Every variable has an exponent. If you don't see it, it's a 1. Okay. Here, this just gives you some examples. Individual terms have their own degrees. Polynomials, expressions, have a degree. If I ask you for the degree of the term, that's given to you here. If I ask you for the degree of the polynomial, it's just the biggest one. So what's the degree of this polynomial? What's the biggest exponent that you see? What's the biggest little number that you see? 2. Yeah, this is what's called a second degree trinomial. Why second degree? Because 2 is the biggest exponent. Why do you think it's called a trinomial? If you want to be more specific, there's 3 terms. Okay, coefficient we talked about, constant we talked about, variable we talked about. So we'll go through this. If you can't write, look at it. Especially if you're somebody who's very structured and very disciplined, you might get in the habit of getting these notes already in the notebook before you show up. So then now all you're doing is annotations and you're adding things to the notes. Like I just did. You saw how I did. All I had to do is add things to that first page. That's what you would be doing in class instead of having to write all this down. Okay. So if you can't get it all down, just leave yourself some space because I want to be able to explain it. What color do you see coefficients on this page? In red, yeah, that's what you see up here. It says coefficient and it happens to be red. What color do you see constants? In blue, but they snuck on by you because there's also one in black. Yeah, which one's in black? Yeah, the 7's in black. Yeah, that's a little sneaky there. But yeah, this 7 is a constant. So is 5. So is -4. Yeah, you gotta look at the sign. Come on, it's a -4. -4. Good. I'm not too familiar with curriculum in Georgia and middle school, but is this new? Raise your hand if you've never heard of any of these this terminology before. Coefficient, constant, variable. Okay. So this is kind of review, a little bit like review. Polynomial in standard form. Standard form just means that the exponents are in order. When you hear standard form, it's also, if you want to write this down, it's also known as descending order. Descending order of exponent from biggest to smallest. Where do you get confused if people want to put the numbers in front, the coefficients in order? Not those, the exponents. 3, 2, 1. And then why do we put the constants at the end? Because if you don't have a variable, then what is that considered to be degree-wise? 0. The exponents really are attached to variables, so if you don't have a variable, you don't have an exponent, that's 0 degree. Mary, how are we doing back there? Okay, alrighty. Like terms. What does the word like sound like? No pun intended.
Similar.
Well, the word like is like, but I mean, what does it sound like? Alike. Yeah. If you want to think of like terms, think of terms that are alike. In order to be like terms, you have to have the same variable and the same exponent. What are we leading to? We're leading to something called combining like terms. This whole lesson of adding and subtracting, only adding and subtracting, not multiplying, but adding and subtracting can be put together under the topic of what's called combining. If you are combining like terms, you're adding and subtracting. So here they circled like terms for you. Which ones are like? The ones in the blue circle, the x to the third, right? So what's 2 plus 7? What positive 2 plus 7 is? 9. So once we get to the examples, which we won't be able to get to today, but that will be 9x to the third. What is negative 5 plus 10?
5x.
Positive 5. So now because it's not the first term, you would have to write the plus 5. 5 of what though? 5 of the x squares. 5 of the x squares. This ball rings at what, 20? Yeah, so I still got 5 minutes. Let's see if I can get through all this so that tomorrow we get to start with the examples. Okay, classifying polynomials. Classifying is like giving them names. If you were paying attention, you heard me already name one polynomial. What name did I give one polynomial? It was a trinomial, but there was an adjective put in front.
Oh.
Quadratic. It was the
Quadratic.
yeah. So this page here tells you how to use those adjectives. So if a polynomial has no variables, meaning it has no exponents, that polynomial is a constant. If the polynomial, the biggest exponent is a 1, it's a linear polynomial. Adjective, you put it in front of a noun. Quadratic polynomial. Cubic polynomial. Fourth degrees actually do have a name. It's just not used very often. It's called quartic. You might see it from time to time. They go like a quarter, but stick an IC at the end. Quartic. And fifth degrees are also known as quintic. But you'll hear me use these. Anything bigger than 3, we'll call it by the number. 7th degree, 8th degree, 10th degree. And they give you an example of each. Wait, but mister, you're going too fast. I can't write this all down. Yeah, go to E-class. This is how you stick the noun after the adjective. So, quadratic monomial. 4th degree trinomial. If you have one, this is by number of terms. Monomial is 1 term, binomial 2 terms, trinomial 3 terms, anything 4 or more, just call it a polynomial of that many terms. If I have 8 terms, it's a polynomial of 8 terms. Going too fast? Anybody freaking out?
No.
Tomorrow, luckily, we have a second day of this. This page is just a recap of the last 2 pages. So there's nothing new here. This is just an example, which I have my own examples later on that are better, starting here. All right, and let's call time there. So just remind me tomorrow to start off here on this page. Any questions before we leave?
I gotta get away from this bug over.